Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's seriously the best time of the year. The weather has finally started to warm up, so we are getting brighter and sunnier days. And of course, there is the Sephora sale. So, I couldn't resist putting together my top 10 must have product for you guys. This list of products is specifically curated for spring and summer vibes. I've also tried my best to keep it super diverse, no repeats, so we get to explore a bunch of different products. Before we jump into the video, I wanted to give you a little heads up. I'm also working on a separate video on new makeup launches at Sephora, telling you what's worth your money and what to skip. So make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications on. All right, enough chit chat, let's get started. All right, let's kick things off with primers. I've got two amazing options for you guys depending on the look you're going for. If you're like me and you enjoy a soft radiance and glow without looking like a disco ball, you will love the Saie Glowy Super Gel. The formula on this is super lightweight, so it doesn't feel heavy or greasy at all. It just instantly wakes up my face. I look more radiant, more alive. I also think this is a very versatile product. On those super casual days, I'll just use it on top of my sunscreen with a tiny bit of concealer. It's also amazing as a primer under foundation. And sometimes I'll even mix a little directly onto my foundation for that extra oomph. It just makes everything look more radiant and healthy, no matter how I use it. Love it. Now, if you're not as concerned about the glow and you're looking to increase the makeup wear time and add hydration, then the ISAMAYA gel primer is another great option. This is like a gel cream, so it quickly absorbs into your skin, leaving it super hydrated. And it also has a little bit of a gripping effect. This subtle gripping effect really helps your makeup stay put all day long. Most importantly, this type of primer plays well with all my foundations and tinted moisturizers. My dry skin absolutely drinks this up. If you have oily skin, you could totally use this as a gel moisturizer before your makeup. I think it's seriously perfect for those hot, humid summer days when you need your makeup to look flawless and your skin to stay hydrated. Moving on to complexion products, we all love a good skin tint in the spring and summer months, and I have been loving the Makeup Forever Super Boost Skin Tint ever since I got my hands on it. I think Makeup Forever totally nailed it with this launch. I wasn't the biggest fan of their reformulated HD skin foundation, but this skin tint is beautiful. The formula on this is just so elegant. It's lightweight, breathable, and it feels like I'm wearing nothing. It's almost undetectable, which is perfect for those warmer months. Coverage wise, it gives you a light coverage, so it evens out my skin tone and minimizes any little redness or discoloration while still letting my natural skin shine through. It sets down to a natural finish, so I think this will work for a lot of different skin types. I honestly just apply it using my fingers, but you can use a sponge or a brush, whatever you like. It's perfect for those quick, effortless spring and summer looks, whether I'm going out for lunch with friends, running errands, or just having a casual hangout. This is definitely going to be my go to for this season. Now, if I want more coverage and a more polished and perfected look, this Dior Forever Foundation Stick is a great option for that. I tend to reach for this during the spring and summer when I don't have dry patches on my skin. This is a very smoothing and blurring formula, so it minimizes the look of pores and overall softens the appearance of imperfections. It also provides medium coverage, so it almost covers all of my discoloration and blemishes and creates a more even tone complexion. I have also noticed that this foundation looks incredibly well on camera, especially when I'm working from home and taking all the Zoom calls for work. So, yeah, if you are taking a lot of photos, this is a beautiful foundation to wear. I have no complaints when it comes to the wear time on this foundation. This stays put all day long. I honestly don't even feel the need to set it with powder. It just stays smooth and flawless without settling into any lines or getting patchy. I know DIOR complexion products are an investment, but they deliver every single time. For concealer, I know I'm repeating myself, but I still wanted to recommend the Kulfi Main Match Concealer. This is a full coverage concealer, and full coverage concealer used to be scary for me. I have always pictured that cakey, heavy look, especially under the eyes, but this completely changed my perspective. Yes, it covers everything, but it doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. It's creamy, it's hydrating, it's lightweight, and it just seamlessly blends. It also sets itself down beautifully, so I honestly don't even bother with powder. This is one of the first full coverage concealers I have tried that made me realize that full coverage can still look natural. It completely camouflages darkness or discoloration, but still let my skin look like skin. It's incredible. All right, moving on to blushes. If you're looking to add a liquid blush in your collection, I have got two options to share with you depending on the type of finish you prefer on the skin. First is the YSL liquid blush in the shade 44 Nude Lavalier. This is such a wearable and flattering shade of pink that is perfect to mimic the rosy cheeks. It is not an intense or bold shade of pink. It's soft and dramatic, and that's why I feel like it goes well with a dewy makeup look, as well as a natural and bronzed makeup look. The formula is not overly pigmented, so you can start with just a tiny dot for a subtle hint of color, or layer it up if you want a bit more intensity. But even when you build it, it never looks harsh or clownish. It just looks like a natural, healthy flush. There's no shimmer, no shine, no dewiness in this formula. Just a beautiful skin like finish. So, if that's what you're looking for, YSL liquid blush is a great option. But if you want dewy, juicy looking cheek, then you cannot go wrong with the Saie Dew blushes. They're not glittery or overly shiny, they just have this subtle, luminous sheen that instantly makes my complexion look more vibrant and healthy. I prefer to apply a small amount to the back of my hand and then use a brush to apply it to my cheeks. This gives me so much more control over how much color I want to build. It's like you can go from a subtle hint to a more intense flush. This blush stays put all day long, even without setting it. I highly recommend them. Moving on, I'm super happy that powder blushes are making a comeback. So, if you're even slightly curious about trying a powder blush, you need to at least go in store and try these two. I absolutely adore both of these, and you can pick any one as per your preference. First up is the Givenchy Loose Powder Blush in the shade 04 Organza Cyan. If you love the old Givenchy loose setting powder, you're gonna love this. It's got that same airbrush effect, but for your cheeks. Even though it's a powder, it just blends into this soft, diffused wash of color. There's no harsh line or a stripe of color on my cheek. I also love this shade. It's this rustic reddish brown that gives you the most beautiful sun kissed look. It's totally different from your typical pinks or corals, and it adds this really elegant, almost dramatic touch. I love this. The other powder blush I wanted to share with you guys is the Valentino Eye to Cheek eyeshadow and blush in the shade 04 Sweet Rabble. If you're looking for a glowy blush without the shimmer or glitter, this is it. It will not emphasize any skin texture. I also love the texture of this blush. It's incredibly creamy and buttery in the pan, but applies like a powder. It's a treat to use, really. This is what I was expecting from the YSL blushes in the satin finish, but they're a little too shimmery for my taste. I also love this shade. It's a warm rose, so it creates a glowy, naturally rosy look that is perfect for those light and airy spring and summer makeup routines. Highly recommend. Now let's talk about bronzers. In this category, I have two options for you depending on the finish you like. First one is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Creamy Bronzing Powder. This is a huge pan, like way bigger than I expected. You're getting your money's worth. This is going to last you forever. And the packaging also feels so luxe, so substantial. This is a glowy bronzer, so it's got this subtle luminescent quality. There's a tiny bit of shimmer in there, but honestly, it's so finely milled, it just makes your skin look alive. If you really pack it on, you will see a bit more shimmer. But even then, I find it super flattering. It just adds this beautiful, healthy glow. Even if you're not a fan of sparkly bronzers, I think you will still love this. The shimmer is so subtle, it just translates to a beautiful, warm glow. The powder itself is so finely milled that it almost feels like a cream in the pan. I love it. But if you don't want a glowy, luminous bronzer, you prefer a soft matte or a satin finish formula, you cannot go wrong with the YSL Sunkissed Glow Bronzer. Yes, it is a velvety matte bronzer, but it's not chalky or dry at all. I apply it using a large fluffy brush and it creates a beautiful, natural looking shadow. I think it adds a realistic definition and structure to my face. This doesn't have any sparkle in it, so you can use it for a subtle warmth or a dramatic contour and definition, depending on your preference. I think it is also an ideal bronzer for people who have very oily skin, or if you live in a hot and humid climate and you tend to stay away from glowy, shimmery products. Moving on to lips, I wanted to give you guys two options. And if you are a regular viewer, you know these two are my absolute favorites. I am repeating myself, but they deserve all the love. First up, the Tatcha Kisu Lip Tint. It has an SPF of 25. Now, I don't know about you guys, but honestly, I am not very religious with using sun protection on my lips. Most of the lip products I've tried with SPF tend to have a strong taste or smell, and I couldn't take it. But the Tatcha lip balm doesn't have that. And for a lip balm, it's surprisingly pigmented and long lasting. This thing came with me on every trip last summer, including Hawaii and the Caribbean, and it held up beautifully. I barely had to reapply, which is a huge win. Now, if you're not worried about SPF and you're just craving a sheer wash of color with a super nourishing formula, you cannot go wrong with the Ole Henriksen Peptide Lip Treatment. This is a richer, more luxurious formula. It creates this amazing moisture barrier on your lips and keeps them hydrated for hours. It gives you this beautiful sheer wash of color, like a subtle hint. So it is perfect for those days when you want a little something extra, but you don't want the intensity of a lipstick. Of course, it's a lip balm, so it's not going to last all day, but it leaves my lips feeling incredibly soft and hydrated. I sometimes pair it with a lip liner for extra staying power. Moving on to the setting sprays, if you have dry and dehydrated skin like me, you spend a lot of time in an air conditioned setting and you feel like towards the end of the day, your skin feels a little tight. This Calibre setting spray is a great option for you. It's a super hydrating mist, so initially I thought it would be amazing as a primer, but maybe not so much as a setting spray. Boy, was I wrong. You can definitely prep your skin with it, but it also locks in my makeup all day long. It blends all my makeup layers into this smooth, even, natural finish. Everything just melts together and looks like actual skin. It's not matte, it's not dewy, just this gorgeous, natural perfection. Honestly, I was skeptical. I didn't think a setting spray could be this hydrating and this long wearing, but this proved me wrong, and I am loving it. Now, if you have got combo or oily skin and you are all about extending your makeup's wear time, then Charlotte Tilbury is another fantastic option. This one is not as hydrating as the Calibre and it sets down to a demi matte finish on me. So I tend to reach for this when I know I will spend a lot of time outdoors and sweating during the summer. I also feel like it blurs and smooths my skin, which is a bonus. And lastly, I wanted to share a mascara recommendation. This one is from House Labs, and I love the formula and the shape of the brush on this. First off, the formula isn't wet or goopy at all, so it completely avoids that clumpy, spidery lash look. It coats each lash individually, so I get these clean, defined, and beautifully elongated lashes. One coat gives you that perfect, natural, fluttery look for everyday wear. Even though the formula is drier, it is still very buildable and creates a very dramatic effect. With two coats, I get this incredible volume and length. You can easily go from natural to very dramatic look. I love that it doesn't flake or smudge throughout the day and it rinses off easily with an oil cleanser. Love it. All right, you guys, this wraps up today's video. I really hope you found it helpful and maybe even discovered a few favorite or two. If you are planning on grabbing anything from Sephora sale, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm always curious to hear what you guys are picking up. And don't forget, make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on because my next video is gonna be about the newest makeup launches at Sephora to see what's worth your money and what you can totally skip. You don't wanna miss that. As always, sending you all the good vibes. Stay healthy, stay beautiful, stay kind, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.